Howdy, y'all. My name is Davey Blue Jay, also known as David Tank. I am a desert dweller. I live in Joshua Tree, California, in that area. I am also a heart wizard rock star. I'm a soul here having a human experience, and I am a human just figuring things out and trying my best. And I would like to talk to you today about the power of self-concept and identification with who you are and connecting to the truth of who you are. So I'm going to elaborate a little more, go on a little more about who I am. I am the person that makes my inner child proud. I am the person that my inner child looks up to. I am my inner child, and I'm also my inner adult for my child. I am responsible. I'm accountable. I am trustworthy and loyal. I am a human animal. I am very conscientious of my values and how I treat others. I'm very conscientious of how I treat myself. I'm emotional. I embody magic in my daily life. I surrender to the unknown, and I know that God, Goddess, is omnipresent all around me and speaks through others and speaks through all of my surroundings. So I want to talk to you about why am I telling you all this? This is not the normal, I'm guessing this isn't your average introduction when you meet a person, right? Is it? Because let me know in the comments if it is, because I'm curious to know that. The power of knowing who you are, of self-concept, of identification with, this persona or with all the different aspects of who you are is irrefutable. The power of knowing who you are actually is a tool to make a difference, to live with purpose, not drift, but to live with purpose in life, to inspire others to be themselves and to uncover more of your true self. You hear people talking about, there's a line in this Cat Power song with Iggy Pop's in it. Someone drop the name of that song below. I'm not going to say it. So here's the deal. They sing in this song about being your own superhero. Okay. And the reason that is so impactful to me and powerful to me in being your own superhero is because, can you feel that kind of inspiration that comes with that? When you're your own superhero, first of all, you're one of a kind. And I'm not endorsing a war in this analogy at all. Or, glorification of war. But if you're your own superhero, all right, you're one of a kind, and you get to decide who that is and how you behave. It is not a stereotype at all, and that's why you get to say, and you get to be all these wonderful things and embody all these wonderful values, because you get to be that person. You get to live as that person that your inner child, your little self, or, the old version of you growing up looks up to, So if you have a journal right now or a paper, or you could do this later now if you want, I invite you to write out the characteristics that your inner child looks up to. What are they like? What are some descriptors, of them? What kind of movie would they be in if you saw them? Maybe that can help shed some light onto those words you can write out. All right. What values are most important to them? and what kind of things are natural for them to partake in. All right. How do you feel? Next prompt. How do you feel right now thinking about this and writing this out? And guess what? It's okay if part of one of those descriptors is uncomfortable. Because whenever you do something that's not normal, that you don't, usually do, it's, it can be uncomfortable, right? But that doesn't mean that it's not awesome. That doesn't mean that it's not wonderful. Okay. Some things that are natural for me as myself, as my inner child's hero, is teaching at a rehab center, which I do. I teach meditation, mindfulness, and music healing. Living my best wizard life, and it excites me that I'm getting paid to do my passion. I'm stoked about that. I'm grateful that I'm getting paid to do my passion. Another thing, as someone who also, part of the reason it's natural for me to do this is because I live sober, and I've been on a journey of sobriety, and a very emotional journey, let me tell you, that's involved crying. It's involved facing my shadows and continuing to. It's involved having some really difficult conversations. It's involved learning to be alone. Another thing that's natural for me is being alone a lot of the time and just taking care of myself, and also doing what I love to do. I'm on an adventure right now. It's raining in the desert, and I actually was gonna film this video in a hot tub. I was like, I'm just gonna I have my DSLR. This is my phone, but I have my DSLR. Got to be flexible. I have my DSLR, and I was gonna just sit in a hot tub and answer questions about my musical influences and style. Anyway, other thing that's natural for me, is so sharing, what I've learned through my spiritual practices. We can ground this. What's a spiritual practice? Meditating. What's a spiritual practice? Or self-growth practice too? Therapy regularly, right? Weekly therapy. What's another spiritual practice? Praying. Okay, what's another spiritual practice? Affirming. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. Feeling that, right? What's another, and those are great to do first thing in the morning, by the way, meditating and affirming and saying I'm grateful, or I'm deserving because I exist. I'm deserving, I'm worthy because I exist. What else is natural for me? Being in, surrendering my relationship status to, God, to Goddess, surrendering my relationship status to, what's the moment, and accepting that I am exactly with who I'm meant to be with at the moment, for my highest purpose, for where I'm at in my journey, for the highest amount of respect and integrity within my values to myself. And right now that is me being single, me being in a relationship, focusing on my relationship with me. And often I do feel like I'm going on little dates with myself, and going on adventures like this, hot tubbing. I spend a lot of time also just lighting candles, burning incense, meditating, singing, playing music, drinking tea. And that does, there is a certain I'm a very romantic person. There is a delightful, kind of romantic energy to just my daily actions. And I do often feel like I'm on dates with myself, And honestly, I've experienced unhealthy relationships, and I feel like I'm in a place right now in my life where I'm very grateful to feel like this steadiness and this confidence just in how I treat myself with respect. So, I'm learning through each moment. All right. So what else is natural for me? Well, let's get back to the journaling. So write out what's natural for you. Write out this, your reality. And then how about you write out some ways that you can show up for yourself regularly? I would call these rituals, but you can call it whatever you want. It definitely is essential to be disciplined with these rituals. Obviously life is life, and sometimes you can't always keep up, or you can't always do it as much as you'd like to. But what is a general timeline? What's a general amount of time you can commit to doing your rituals to the best of your ability? And that could be journaling, that could be therapy, that could be meditating, or whatever your rituals are. Is your ritual yoga? Is it martial arts? Is your ritual working out? Is a ritual of yours cooking a healthy meal for yourself? Is it reading a book? Is it playing? Is it recording a video? What is it? So your dreams, your superhero, your inner child superhero, your younger version superhero, all right, they have certain values, right? We talked about it, wrote some down. They show up for themselves with their rituals regularly, specific to you. And there are things that are just natural in life for them to do. All right. And let me tell you this, as a human, which I mentioned, I'm a wizard. I'm a human too. And as a human, I can't always, I'm not a robot. I can't always have my best be 100% each day. But what I can do is forgive myself and have, and have understanding and compassion to myself for how I show up, no matter what my best is that day. You hear people talking about how sometimes their best is 80%. The Four Agreements, that book says, as a wellness instructor, it's natural for me to tell you this, wellness instructing wizard, that the Four Agreements has one of them being do your best, and then caveats it says, or explains it, articulates whatever. Your best will change. That level will change from day to day. And you hear other people talking about that too. So do whatever your best is. So it's an exciting reality to engage in as your own superhero, and as someone who's in devotion to a greater power, to Goddess, to yourself. And it's a beautiful thing. If someone tells you, if your mind goes to this belief or this old, thought repeated, or maybe a kid repeated this to you, or someone in your upbringing, in your life, told you that this is cocky, to what's this guy saying? Can you say you're a rock star? That kind of thing, right? I'll tell you this. You being your superhero with true values, with authentic values that you see as, as your highest version, that you see as righteous, as true, as inspiring, you're just going to inspire and uplift others to treat themselves better and see themselves in a higher view. Okay? And I know I'm a rock star. If I was to just put that off, I'm only a rock star, once I meet someone else's requirement of what that mean, you see the difference. Being your own superhero is knowing your own requirements and values and matching them, and then therefore you are that. Okay. So if I were to, decide that someone else decides that for me, I'm giving away my power. And also, I might be sending myself on this goose chase to never achieve what I'm talking about, right? Like, oh, you're not good enough, not good enough. No, let's all do our best to be our best. And let's honor the ways that we've embodied that and we are that. And that is our truest self. That's actually who we aspire to be. When you're in this place of creation, you're also claiming what you already are and inspiring others to do that too. All right? When you're driven, when you're in that flow and you're trying your best, trying is how you accomplish things. You try, then in my book, you're inspiring. Okay, so now let's just go back a little bit to let me give you an example of the opposite narrative. If I embodied I'm going to call this self-deprecating image, because I think that is, and I believe I perpetuate that thought, that's normal, that's what's right, that's what's right, that's just what you do. If I'm self-deprecating, even if it's a joke, okay, even if it's a joke that I commonly default to, and I'm like, oh no, I'm a piece of shit, I'm worthless, how do you think I'm gonna behave? How do you think I'm gonna behave if I continually say I'm a piece of shit? I wouldn't be that surprised if someone who said that they were a piece of shit behaved like a piece of shit or acted like it, because that's who they believed that they are. Okay? So, do y'all get what I'm saying? Drop a comment if this is making sense. You embody who you believe you are. My life is magical because I know that I'm a wizard. My life is exciting and rocking because I know I'm a rock star. And my version of a rock star is specific to me. A rock star isn't someone who, to me, is not someone who treats others poorly. A rock star to me is not cocky, doesn't give a heck, and is drunk all the time, or just on a bunch of drugs and out of control, or disrespectful. So that by reaffirming who I am, I connect to those values and I do my best. I try to embody my highest version. And again, I'm human. I'm not always, I know that I'm, for instance, graceful as a person. That does not mean I don't hiccup sometimes or mess up, or don't ever need to apologize for things, So, be true, be yourself, and give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit for who you are. Give yourself some credit along the way for your growth, and know that there ain't nobody else like you, and you get to do it 100% your way. All right? You get to do it 100% your way, and there's tons of magic, fun, wonderful times, wonderful connections to experience here as your younger self's superhero. Peace, y'all. I love you.